maybe if I push join. Okay. All right, and it's 3:07 p.m. This is the Bluff Town Council special meeting. Roll call. Linda Sosa.
Brett Morsby.
Is Jenna.
Jennifer Davila.
Ann Lepinen.
Erin Nelson serving as town manager.
Today is Tuesday, October 28th, 2025. The first item on the agenda is to interview and vote to appoint midterm council vacancy. So we didn't talk about the order in which to do it. Which have the candidates, or do you know?
Well, you can either do it one at a time, or you could have both of them up here and ask the same question to them. And that way it doesn't give one person the ability to and maybe you just alternate back and forth between who answers first, so it doesn't give the opportunity for one person to
Dominate?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it that way. I will move this reporter over.
You guys want to come up here?
Sure.
But of course, someone has to. So I'm gonna do this real quickly. Roll call, all of us are here. This is Tuesday, October 28th, 2025. The special meeting of the Bluff Town Council. We do roll call, and I neglected to film the reporter. So we are now here in the room with two candidates for interviewing for the vacant seat on the Bluff Town Council. I'm just trying to think how to do this. Well, I'll just start with Spencer, who's here. Then you'll get the first question, and then Gary, you'll get the second question. So the first question that's on the list is, please start by telling us a little bit about yourself and what brought you to Bluff. What do you value most about living here? Well, this is Spencer. And it's Spencer Wade, right?
Yeah. So let's see, what brought me to Bluff was Malia. I had met Malia up in the Wasatch Mountains, and she was living down here in Coral Sands. And came down to visit her, and while we were dating, fell in love with her and the place. And that's what brought me down here. Started working with Wild Rivers doing construction, and just picking up odd and end jobs in the winter. And then river guiding during the season. I did that for 6 years full time, and 1 year, well, I guess like a year and a half part time. And what I love about Bluff is the people and the sense of community. And I mean, I've just never had a community like this ever before. Grew up in Salt Lake City, and living in a place like this, it's not just a beautiful area, but also beautiful people.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then you're Gary Haas.
Correct.
Do you want me to read the question again, or do you remember it?
I remember it.
That's a test.
I remember it. Just don't make me repeat it. What brought me to Bluff is, I mean, it probably started long ago. In 2001, my wife and I came down here and unloaded a motorcycle, rode all around the Trail of the Ancients in this area. We loved it down here. We were married over in the Red Rocks over in Capitol Reef and Torrey. And so then when COVID hit, we decided we liked each other again, and hermits, and we could do without the big city. So we moved down from the Ogden area. My wife transferred down here to San Juan School District, got a job with them. And I retired out up there, and we moved down here. Everything started falling into place. And we looked in Monticello, we looked in Blanding, we looked in Bluff for property. And every time we dropped into Bluff, it was just as we're home. It was home to us. The people we met, the area, the surrounding, and everything started clicking. We got the land down to build our barn dominium. And as Spencer said, this sense of community, all the community things we do together. The arts festivals and stuff like that just unites, brings everybody closer as long as we all participate openly, communicate. And so that's what brought me here is that, and I love it here. We're not going anywhere.
So Linda, you have the next question, starting with Gary. You start with Gary.
What strengths do you have that will help in this position?
I believe my strengths are, well, I'm down to earth. And I've, feel that I've got good common sense in the sense that I can work with, people. I was in law enforcement for 30-something years, dealing with conflicts, issues, both positive and negative. To come to resolutions to be able to move forward. Not all the time was everybody 100% satisfied, but I believe that the common goal there was met. That the best for the situation, best for the family, say, or the city was achieved. And that's what I feel like my strengths are is in dealing with various people, all kinds of people in various situations and resolving conflicts or coming to mutual agreements where everyone can be on the same page. Might not be as happy as they would be if it turned out different, but they'll all be mutually acceptable to move forward.
Spencer.
Yeah, I would say, I've got a similar skill set, definitely didn't work in law enforcement, but I feel like I can, I get along with most people and have decent communication skills, so I think I've got that in my pocket. Also a willingness to learn new things and being open to hearing what people have to say, and I don't really have a ton of experience with this type of thing, but I'm excited to learn and be a part of it and help the town as best I can.
Thank you. Then Jen, are you in a position where you can ask your question?
Yes, I am. I guess it's Spencer's turn.
It is.
So even though you both will be joining us officially in January, I would like to know, because we kind of seem at a crossroads to me, if there are any specific projects that or items that you have a burning desire to start working on in the interim period between now and January.
I don't know if I necessarily have a burning desire for any of the projects, but I am excited and willing to start working on some of them. One that I've heard about and it kind of interests me is the cemetery project, and working with Anne to figure out what we can with that in the meantime. But I don't know if I necessarily have a burning desire for any project in particular right now.
And then Gary?
It's hard when she's in the box to not see and look at her. Okay, just saying that, yeah. But, I'd have to agree there. I really have no,
She was from
oh,
afar.
great.
We're just gonna be.
Yeah, I really have no, specific, any agenda to do. I know that there's a lot going on, with, the town council right now, trying to get everything finalized and done for the new year, for the new group coming in. And try to tie up all loose ends, and I'd just be willing to help in any way to help further that. To make sure that those things do continue to move forward and get done. So any way that I could help to do it, I'm willing to do. But I have no one that stands out as, this is my goal, I've got to hit this. So.
Thanks, Rick.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for being willing to do town council in general and then being willing, stepping up and doing this earlier in specific. So thank you guys. So I guess this kind of dovetails with what y'all were talking about. Is there any area or topic you would like more information or background on? Or what can we do to support y'all onboarding with us?
So
Gary, I'm sorry.
Me, okay, that's me.
Okay.
You know, I don't know if there's anything that you could do extra. Because, you know, I've been on planning and zoning for a while. And I know that all of you have been willing at any time to help nurture, to help guide me, to help answer questions I have. Whether it's at lunch at the senior center or whether it's out on the side of whatever it is, y'all have been willing to just, you know, step right up and say, you know, here's what's going on, here's what we're doing, here's how we feel, and answering all my questions. And that's what I think is the best, is that everyone is so willing to help everyone to make this happen. That's the only way we can do it, is if we're all pulling at the same time and doing it, you know, it's like my wagon. One horse is pulling, the other horse is dragging. And so they, you know, when they both pull together, then things happen. And that's what I think is just the support that the town council's given me already in planning and zoning. And then as we start our new adventure here, the support we've already had in, you know what, you know, the meetings we've had and getting information. So I think that just continue that.
Well, we'll try to keep your poop cleanup to a minimum.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like that too.
A little bit different. Spencer?
I would say, you know, if it is me that's on, in the interim, if I join early, maybe just a quick meeting to get a rundown on everything that's going on that I would be working on in the meet, like just in that interim period. I think that'd be helpful. With maybe just one person, it doesn't have to be everyone, you know, even just with one of you to catch me up on everything. You know, I hear a little bit of what's going on from Malia already and kind of have a little bit of an idea, but just a little bit more of a detailed catch up, I think.
So, thank y'all.
So Aaron, do you want to take the other?
Sure.
As many as you would like.
Okay.
7 hours.
Can you describe your approach to decision making when faced with an issue that has many differing community opinions or limited information available?
With limited information available, I'd say trying to see it from all sides as best as possible and try to be as non-biased as I possibly can situation. And it's easier said than done sometimes, for sure, but really trying to look at it from all angles and trying to get more information if that's possible before making a decision.
I'd just say kind of ditto, but you know, in the, with limited, as far as decision making, you know, I believe that I'd be open-minded to all the input that's out there, the public comments, the things people are saying, what's being talked about in council meeting. But in today's age, thank heavens for Google, because you can Google so much to find out what other towns are doing, what other what's out there available to gain. And so I would pursue, you know, like all avenues before I made any decision. Base it off of all the information I could possibly glean. to make hopefully the right decision, at least the right one in my mind, with all the knowledge that I could gather.
Alrighty. Starting with Gary, is there anything else that you'd like residents to know about you or why you want to serve the community in this role?
Like the community to know we do wagon rides out of Bluff. Let's get to the program. No, just, I want them to know that I'm approachable. That I'm not someone that they need to be afraid of, or that I won't talk to them, or that I'll shut down on them, or come apart on them, that I'm approachable. And they can do that at any time. And tell me their feelings. And I'll be open-minded to them, and take them into account. But yeah, I'd like them to know that I'm approachable.
I mean, you get to go on a wagon ride with pretty soon a councilman. So I mean, there you go, that's a huge bonus. I would like to. And what was the second part of that question?
I'll read the whole thing if that helps. Is there anything else you'd like residents to know about you or why you want to serve the community in this role?
What I'd like people in the community to know is that I will be slowing down on electrical projects and won't be offering that as much of a service. I'll still help a little bit. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if either. It's very well.
I'll bet he's very approachable. Malia and Spencer were the very first two people that we met in Bluff. And it was because Malia was out, no, Spencer was out watering the yard. We drove up Cemetery Hill, came back by, he'd gone in. And I said, I gotta talk to someone in Bluff. And my wife goes, what are you gonna do? I said, I'm gonna go knock on his door. And I went, knocked on his door. Malia came out. I asked her, she goes, oh, I don't know, Sam down there. I said, what's Sam's last name? She says, hey, Spencer, what's Sam's last name? He yells from the, who wants to know? I said, some stranger on the front porch. And he came right out. We talked, we chatted about it all. But yeah, very approachable, very nice, and just perfect. But the first two people we met in Bluff.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's awesome. Sorry.
No, that's great.
That's good.
To finish the question though, why I want to do this? That's the second part.
Sir.
I feel like I haven't volunteered I guess I volunteered a lot with, I guess, helping people just with personal projects, but helping the town out as a whole, like doing some sort of volunteer work for the town. And this came up and wasn't necessarily my first choice, but it is something that I am excited about. And it seemed like a great way to serve the community. So.
Anybody have a follow-up question?
I have one more. Do either of you have any time conflicts or things like that we would need to worry about working around on Tuesdays when we are regularly scheduled at this point in time?
I don't have anything consistent on Tuesdays. Occasionally I have things, but I don't have like a consistent standing meeting or anything that would be conflicting. Tuesdays.
Unless my wagon business takes off. No, Tuesdays are open.
So. After I looked at everybody else's questions, I really didn't have anything specific. I would like to kind of echo what people have said. That thank you so much for stepping up and for both of you being willing to step up earlier than anticipated, before you had too much time to think about whether you really wanted to do this or not. The way that we talked internally about handling it is, because we have to do this in public, which is fine, we'll do a little bit of discussion. Welcome to sit here, listen to it. We'll vote, and then we will have the lucky person sworn in on
Tuesday, November 4th, during our regularly scheduled meeting.
Okay,
And the reason for kind of pushing that piece out is because some people like their families to be here, their friends to be here. Some people just want to take their seat and move on. But we want to give you that opportunity. And then we have to do a little bit of paperwork anyway. So we wanted that time to have.
One last clerical question. When you both filed your declaration for candidacy for town council in June, you had to submit a conflict of interest statement. Since that time, can you confirm on record that that document is still current and nothing has changed?
yes,
Verbal confirmation for both?
Yes, mine's still the same.
Excellent,
Yeah.
thank you.
for sure. I will say too, I don't, doesn't really matter to me which one of us, at least from on my end, it doesn't, I'm happy to, I mean, obviously we both applied, so.
And we'll both be working together.
Right, right.
So it really is.
Yeah.
Peculiar, sir.
Right,
I should note that Jen, who was virtual, is now here, and she came in at 3:19. I didn't realize you were coming in so good.
Mhm.
Well, discussion? Anybody want to start?
Well, there's some of the,
I'd like to leave the table.
right. In the speed bag.
Sit back there. Yeah, here, take it.
Don't fight.
Some of the practical concerns we talked about were just some of the, Gary serving, currently on, planning and zoning. And we're already looking at some people stepping down on that and having some issues there anyways. So is there value in trying to keep Gary doing planning and zoning for now? And then my other thing is like Spencer said in the interview, he doesn't have as much experience as maybe Gary has through planning and zoning. And I'm sure by being a sheriff for 30+ years with government function, that I'm wondering if maybe give him more of a runway. By giving him this extra 2 months.
So one of the things that I was thinking about is, particularly with some changes that we're going to be possibly making with how land use clearances work. And some of the things that planning and zoning need to do, would be good, in my mind, to have full complement of planning and zoning. We have 0 applications right now for the 2 seats that we are going to have open in January. And then I also wrote down that Gary has a lot of experience in the government function, particularly with enforcement, which is helpful to the council for the next 4 years, but really helpful in planning and zoning and looking at a few of these lingering enforcement issues. And I just wish I could step aside and let one of them take my spot, and one take Luann's spot, and that would push us along even more, but.
Please don't.
No, but since, well, that's kind of my thinking. Jen, Linda, any thoughts?
I've been thinking the same as well, is that since we don't have Gary's role filled yet, I felt to make the best of one of our major committees, boards, whatever, that we need to keep that board as functioning and as stable as long, especially with all of the ordinances and things that we are working on this evening. We've got public hearings for. How many did we end up with?
7.
That, I feel like we need all hands on deck with planning and zoning. I'd hate to pull a valuable person off of that committee, before we absolutely have to. So that was my thoughts as well.
I think that's the most practical thing. If it was up to me, I would flip a coin, because you guys, right?
Yeah.
That would be my ideal, but, yeah, that would be most practical.
We could flip a coin if we went 2 and 2, and then we went 2 and 2 again, and the way Utah resolves it is we flip a coin.
Yeah, that is literally in the law that you go to a coin flip. Yeah, because there are only 4 if you left. Dropping like flies.
I feel like we do have a consensus that we need to move planning and zoning into kind of a natural starting point in January with 5 people. And I think that's probably my strongest reason is,
Definitely, definitely. Look forward to working with both of you. I'm excited about moving forward. But
Yeah. I'm kind of sorry I won't be here to work with these two also.
it's still.
And I'm not.
And appreciate the comment that it's not gonna be taken personally on whatever we decide, because then it lets us just do it practically, which is nice, so.
Want to make a motion?
Oh, yes. God, how should I say it? Motion to appoint, Spencer Wade for midterm council vacancy.
A second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Hi.
Anyone opposed? It's unanimous. So just to kind of wrap this up, I'm happy to meet with either of you together, separately. I know everybody else feels the same way. As much as we can help move things along, I think that there's going to be so much for us to kind of pull together in these next 2 months that I'm happy that both of you showed your interest and willingness to work wherever you're needed. And I still think we ought to do a wagon ride around town and celebrate.
Definitely.
Working it out. It is 3:30. Well, we've still got other items, don't we? Yeah. Okay, we'll move to number 2. I forgot. I'll say
Yeah, we
go. Number 2 is discussion and vote on salary increase and increase to a 40-hour work week for the administrative director position, which Malia Collins fills.
Yes, so Malia had been, her contract had approved her for a 30-hour a week on average at $52,000 a year when we promoted her to administrative director. Clearly, she serves in a very important capacity, not only with administration, but for a lot of the grant management. She's done a lot of work to secure large grants, including the playground grant. She's helping, manage a lot of the CCC items. And then in the future, we're also looking for her to help on some other very large projects, like potentially applying for CDBG, CIB. I mean, the list goes on and on. And so in her juggling all of that, we had a discussion, and she indicated that she'd be willing to increase her hours to approximately 40 hours a week. So moving up to a full-time position. And with that, I would like to suggest an annual salary increase to $64,500 a year. Administratively, this does not increase our operational budget to the point where we would need to do a budget amendment. As she is one line item in that administrative budget. And to date, we're doing just fine, keeping under that. If we see additional significant increases in budget, clearly that does need to go to a budget, an amended budget, which we'll probably be doing anyway. So we could just roll that in that line item. I think that salary is more than fair given all of the work that she's been doing, as well as juggling those large financial projects that do bring in not only financial capital to the town, but also improved relationships and just ensuring things get done. In addition, I would like to suggest, so this had kind of been a discussion that we've been having for a couple of weeks, and unfortunately I wasn't able to get it on the agenda soon enough. But I would also like to recommend that we backdate this to last pay period, which is getting paid out today. If you all would be comfortable with that, I'm also open to additional suggestions or commentary on that.
I might add that there's one kind of big project that I don't think any of us were aware of until we went to Utah League of Cities and Towns annual meeting. Malia attended the ADA compliance, which of course in my pea brain means like, are the doors wide enough and do we have enough baby tables and whatever. I just said it and Malia came back and said, oh, there's a lot. And I'm like, whatever. I just sat in on a 2-hour National League of Cities and Towns meeting. And let me just tell you, this would be one reason I would be running. Because we are under 50,000 people by population, we have until, I believe it's April. Well, it's definitely April, I think it's April 26th of 2027 to comply. But everything that we do, everything we have done since incorporation has to be ADA compliant. That means all of our documents, everything that we have done, we are going to have to go back and redo and make them compliant. That means compliant for hearing impaired, language, everything. And it's not just documents, and then whether it's in a PDF or a Word or whatever. And that's a discussion we're gonna have to have, like, how do we bring this piece on? So I am more than happy to see Malia come on board full-time and a salary increase.
What was the number again?
I would propose an increase to 64,500 annually.
And then what was the back date?
That would be October 10th, 2025,
Starting October 10th.
starting October 10th.
Okay. Motion to increase Malia Collins' salary to $64,500. An increase to 40-hour work week for starting October 10th, 2025.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? It's unanimous. There is one addition to that motion. Malia has to take Maggie, the dog.
No.
I did not.
Track my motion.
She got the increase that covers the 6 cups of dog food a day.
I need more money to feed that.
And to fix the landscaping that she's gonna destroy.
All the irrigation that she'll dig up. Number 3, discussion vote to pay bills.
Alrighty, in the agenda packet that I got out far too late, I'm very sorry. Luckily there weren't too many things in the agenda packet today. It's like we have like 7 public hearings later today. It's just crazy, you guys. Okay, in the special meeting agenda packet, the accounts payable, accounts receivable report has a fairly substantial transfer from PTIF to general checking of $50,000 requested. That is to cover the $41,883.75 for Garrett Parks and Play first payment. As a note, the grant received through Utah Parks and Recreation or something like that will reimburse the town at the very end of the project. So we do need to take that kind of out of our quote savings account to cover the initial payment. I also have the cemetery survey retainer in there. We have our September legal fees. We have some work here at the community center, maintenance work, quite a lot relatively in public notices, $653.80 for all of the notices that we've had to do recently. And then some things on the bank card for travel up to Salt Lake for mediation. Any questions or concerns?
Motion to pay the bills.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? It's unanimous. All right, moving to, thanks, Erin, and don't apologize for getting the agenda packet. Sorry. Remember, we have a lot of public hearings today, so. Is there any other?
So you will, set Spencer up with the email.
Yes, so I will get Spencer all set up for tech, email, and then just some like introductory where to find X, Y, and Z to get him onboarded as quickly as possible, as that was identified as something that we can help. So, and then I might source him out to you all if there are certain projects or items that he needs, more information on.
I have one other, which I'm gonna do from memory. Everybody got their tax bill, I assume their property tax bill. It's a reminder to the community, we are responsible as homeowners for the goat heads and whatever on your property. Your property tax bill should have come with a notice from San Juan County recommending you get out there. Mine came in all three of my parcels. Did anybody else get a? Yeah.
I didn't open mine yet. I saw it and.
I opened one. It did not come in my commercial, I don't think, unless it was tucked.
Say mine.
Behind.
Residential, commercial.
Don't know. I haven't opened my residentials yet. I don't wanna know.
Yeah, so just a reminder, we don't wanna be the community that has to pass an enforcement piece where we say, we're gonna go in and do it and clean it up and you're gonna get charged as a landowner. However, the state law allows the county to do that. And so if the county wanted to be picky, they could target your property, give you a notice, you don't do it and you pay for it. Now, we've been lucky, that's never happened as far as I know. But it is a notice with the property tax bills. If people could just get out, goat heads are at a premium. And we don't want to see goat head Ed drop dead out there. He's out there 10 to 12 hours a day.
Yeah,
So
got it.
Ed was borrowing it, so I can get it. I'll have to see how it's going.
Did he borrow today or had he borrowed it before?
He's had it.
Okay, because every time I see it, he's still doing it old.
I know, I
If
know.
I'm wrong, though, the goat head roller is kind of more ideal for when they're already riding off.
For like the seed.
Yeah.
I wonder if anybody,
Yeah.
because that was always what we had. You pick them up, but you still got seeds.
Right, but right now they're still like,
But has anybody done? Use it at all?
We did a little walk around here when we first got it. We got a couple, but like not too many. There aren't too many here. I think the great place to test it is gonna be the CCC. Like, yeah.
the community garden. My,
Yeah.
my property in the center of town.
Just wondering, I was thinking about it the other day. And I
Yeah.
forgot we had it.
Ed has had it and I agree. I haven't seen him use it on any of them. But I know he's after the big live
Big ones,
ones,
yeah.
so,
Yeah.
but I will touch base with him and see if we can get
I'm
it
also
back.
curious how much the county would charge us. I was like, I might be willing to pay that. Guess I should shut up because I'm gonna be like the test case.
Self-reporting, and Frank's number is right at the bottom of the notice. You can Frank Smith and
Please,
self-report.
he had my property.
And the public hearing started at 4?
5.
5. okay.
Yes.
You have a break.
We have a break.
So
Okay.
unless there's anything else, it's 3:45.
All right, motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? It's unanimous. Now I'm turning the recorder off. Just important.